What else? I remember when the diocese fed me personally. I was asked to be part of the relief task force, and as a result, I met some wonderful, wonderful people, and was a part of the Episcopal Church nationally, and so grateful for that opportunity.
There was a party on the green in South Royalton. The restaurants couldn't keep their meat cold, so they just decided to serve it up to whoever came, and everybody was encouraged to bring anything they had in their freezers.
Awesome. What else?
We were in the emergency shelter in Warrior Junction at the gymnasium when family after family, kid after kid came, and they actually fed one another, literally and figuratively, with the support from kids to adults to generations there, finding every bit of survival that they could, from contributions of food to the spirit.
It was everything. It was everywhere. It was socks, and it was canned goods. It was underwear. It was muck buckets, garbage pails, garbage bags full of stuff. It was a place to come and pick up things that you may need. It was a place to come and gather and talk. And it was the patient and steady work of building bridges. And I don't mean the bridges on the roadways. I mean the bridges between people who had forgotten how to talk with each other and who needed to be reunited. Steady, patient work, resilient, determined, and it fed us. We fed on it all. It was an unstoppable movement that we celebrate today, and it continues on, a movement from neighbor to neighbor. That smorgasbord of fear and destruction and hopelessness was replaced with a banquet of people who cared and who were connected one to another. People who labored and served and listened and talked and committed themselves one to another. Love and hope were made real in human flesh by real bodies who kept showing up day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. That same love and hope quenched the hunger and thirst of that fear and despair, and instead nourished a sense of hope and solidarity and connectedness that draws us here today. It's a connectedness that we can acknowledge in words, but words can really not describe what it is that we have experienced, what it is that we have felt, what has nourished and fed us this year. We are what we eat. Today we feast. Today we feast on that power that moved through so many, that drew us away from our habits and our routines and the life that we knew, into the homes and the farms and the lands of perfect strangers. That spirit that moved people to such incredible acts of generosity, like the Carhart folks. Who would have thought? And that same power of God is moving in our hearts this day. It's the same spirit, that same power that moved over the deep in the very beginning that brought forth creation. It is that very same spirit of God made flesh in the person of Jesus Christ. And it is Jesus on whom we are invited to feast today. Eat my flesh. Drink my blood. Take it in, the God of creation, the God of generosity, the God of mercy, the God of compassion. Indeed, we have been nourished and satisfied and sustained. And in these moments when we take the time to stop and think about how God has walked with us in this land, in this ordeal, we know that we are already living the eternal life that God has promised. For we are walking with God, sustained by God. We are living the life that is life, this day and evermore. There's a leap here. There's a leap of faith from work working together to believing that God is behind it all, that we can feast on Jesus. It's a hard teaching, said the earliest disciples. This is a hard teaching. Who can accept it? And many chose to turn and go away. And indeed, there are some people in the world today who would rather blame God for the destruction rather than give God credit for the incredible gifts that came in the aftermath. Many will never make this leap. Many will be like these earliest disciples who say, I cannot accept this. And they will go back to lives of self-reliance and fierce independence, slowly but surely isolating themselves again, denying the nourishment they need to flourish, to be all that God created each of us to be. We are what we eat, and we have options. And on this day, and evermore, we choose to feast on the love of each other and the unending generosity of God. The generous God who sent Jesus to walk among us that we might know by touch and feel and sight and sound that God is in fact in the world with us, walking with us, hand in hand, every step of the way. Yeah, we are what we eat. So eat heartily. Drink deeply. Taste and see. Feel and celebrate. Thanks be to God.